In a mountain village in the 1980s, she was a virtuous wife, a diligent mother, but never herself. Whatever you say, a phrase always on her lips and a shackle etched into her very soul, until a sudden onset of illness brutally laid bare the truths long ignored. The woman is Tao Chun. After over a decade of marriage, her husband had never spent a single cent on her. He took every cent from the sale of the pig she had painstakingly raised for over 6 months. Despite such neglect, Tao Kun remained utterly submissive to him. Constant refrain was always those 3 words, whatever you say. Clutching her last few coins, she walked into the village shop and bought the toy gun her son had been longing for. She picked a ballpoint pen for her daughter and 2 packs of fine cigarettes for her husband. With almost nothing left, she still couldn't help but stop by the general store to gaze at the dress she had desired for so long. The clerk enthusiastically took it down for her to try on. It seemed tailor-made for her beautiful and a perfect fit. Tao Chun's eyes shone with joy, yet she secretly fretted over the cost. Just as her husband arrived, the clerk smilingly urged him to buy it for her.
Such fine fabric! How often would a peasant woman even wear it?
You call this fine fabric?
Sensing her husband's hesitation, instantly Tao Chun hurriedly took off the dress.
I wonder how much it even costs. It's not expensive, only 14 yuan and 50 cents. Oh, I only have 5 yuan and some change left.
Hey, let's go. I have things to tell you.
Despite her longing, she could only follow her husband away. As soon as they left the store, her husband demanded the last of the spare change. Back home, her son was inseparable from his new toy gun. The daughter got the ballpoint pen she wanted, and the husband took his 2 packs of cigarettes. Everyone in the family got something they liked except for Tao Chun, who had nothing. She dedicated herself to this family without a word of complaint, and yet in the end, she couldn't even earn a single kind word from her husband. At dinner, her sister Xingji rushed in excitedly, urging Tao Chun to put on her new clothes so she could see. Tao Chun had to lie and say she hadn't bought any, claiming the fabric was too fine for her to wear.
You're already 30 years old. 30-year-old woman is just an old hag.
You think you're young? Lonely flower around, all smoking such fancy cigarettes, they even come with foil lining. You're so unfair. My sister has been married to you for all these years. But how many new outfits have you ever made for her? How many bars of scented soap have you ever bought her? You wouldn't even think to buy her a single tin of face cream, would you?
Faced with Xingji's accusations, her husband felt no shame. Instead, he argued, your sister never said she wanted any. Who could have imagined that Tao Kun, so submissive now, once had dreams of her own? As a child, her grades were excellent. She dreamed of becoming a teacher when she grew up. But after marriage, like countless other traditional women, she abandoned her aspirations. Good food and nice clothes were never meant for her. Living a life of total subservience, she never complained about her marriage. She never complained about life. Her answer always being the same.
I'll do as you say.
Now, her greatest wish is simply to see the train on the other side of the mountain. One day, Xingji came to see her, inviting her to the fair to take photos and see the newly opened railway. In those days, a train was a novelty, unheard of by people in the mountains. Listening to Xingji's vivid descriptions, Tao Kun felt a flicker of longing. Having been confined to the mountains all year round, how could she not want to see the world? But fearing her husband's disapproval, she could only offer a hesitant refusal.
Well, maybe some other time.
Some other time again? It's been nearly a year since the train reached Long Kingside, and it's only a few dozen miles away. Yet you've never been there once. What a wasted life you lead.
I don't even have any decent clothes to wear.
In Xingji's eyes, ever since her sister married, her entire life revolved around the house, without a shred of space or freedom to call her own. What angered her even more was that her brother-in-law had never bought her sister a single piece of decent clothing. When Tao Chun brought her husband his meal, she cautiously tried to sound him out and
Xingji said we should find a day to go to the fair in Longquan village. The train has been running for a year now. I still haven't seen it.
That Xingji has too many wild ideas. She wants to stick her nose into every novelty in the world.
Her husband's dismissal left her heartbroken, but she ultimately fell back on her usual refrain.
I'll do as you say.
That night, Tao Chun busied herself with cooking while coaxing her child to sleep. When her husband returned, she dutifully brought him water to wash his feet. As the days passed, Tao Chun grew accustomed to burying her feelings deep within. Since marrying into this family, her husband had the final say on all matters great and small. Never cared for his wife's opinion, even for something as trivial as signing their daughter's homework. Tao Chun would wait for her husband to return late at night while her husband slept soundly. Tao Chun was still burdened by endless chores. Suddenly, a sharp pain flared in her abdomen, forcing her to stop her work. Early the next morning, Xingji came again to take Tao Chun to the fair. Since her husband didn't agree, Tao Chun used unfinished housework as an excuse, but Xingji saw right through her.
Oh, I see. The head of your household didn't approve, did he?
You little rascal. You think you're so smart?
You don't even dare to make a decision about something so small.
Xingji urged her to have her own mind and not just follow her husband in everything. Tao Chun defended him. Your brother Mo Sheng is a decent man. He toils through wind and rain alone for this family. It's hard enough for him. As for me,
I respect him.
You respect him, but why doesn't he respect you?
Oh, you. You'll understand once you have a family of your own.
Such a kind woman was ultimately not favored by fate. At night, Tao Chun's stomach began to ache again. Watching her sleeping husband, she couldn't bear to wake him. She gritted her teeth and endured until dawn. She had barely dozed off when her husband woke her, urging her to head to the acquisition station early to sell the pigs. Tao Chun explained her stomach had been aching all night, but her husband didn't care, only saying he had already made an appointment. Unable to refuse, Tao Chun could only force herself to get up. To save money for cigarettes, her husband just handed her 2 packs of rendan, saying the pain would stop once she took them half. Before leaving, Tao Chun asked Xingji to watch the kids Xingjai, repeatedly urged them, telling them to be sure to buy a new dress for her sister after selling the pigs. But that trip led to the scene at the very beginning. Life went on as usual. While Tao Chun was cutting pigweed on the mountain, she was struck by another sharp pain in her stomach. As she prepared to head home, it was more severe than ever. Before she broke into a cold sweat and couldn't even stand, she hurriedly told her son to call for his father, and her daughter ran to the river to find him.
Mom's stomach hurts.
It's nothing she's had this ailment. For ages she'll be fine in a moment.
Mom is sweating from the pain.
Come here, go to town and buy her 2 packets of rendan.
Yet this man didn't care about his wife's pain at all. If at this very moment he had shown just a bit more concern, Tao Chun's fate might have been different. That evening, the husband returned home to find Tao Chun gone. When his son cried out in hunger, he flew into a rage and barked at the boy to get out of the way. Xingji hurried to pull her brother aside, coaxing him with a story. Not until deep into the night did Tao Chun drag her exhausted body back home. The moment she tried to sit down, her husband lashed out at her.
The pots are empty, and the stove is cold. The child is crying of hunger. You call this a home?
Husband, please, light the fire.
Even if I were a cow, I'd still need a drink of water.
Early the next morning, the son ran to Xingji's house, saying his mother was bedridden and seriously ill. Xingji rushed over and was heartbroken to see Tao Chun convulsing in agony. Just then, the daughter brought over 2 packets of rendan for her mother to take.
You fool!
My father told me to buy.
Go tell your father. If she doesn't get to a hospital, your mother won't make it.
Tao Chun was finally taken to the hospital. The doctor called Mu Sheng into his office. His words came like a bolt from the blue.
We called you here primarily to discuss your wife's condition. You must be the only one to know this. The test results show your wife has liver cancer. We are preparing her for a hepatectomy. Treatment was delayed too long. Why didn't you bring her in for an examination sooner? It's too late.
Only then did it finally dawn on Mu Sheng that his wife's condition had worsened to this point entirely because of his own neglect. Waiting outside the operating room, he wept tears of bitter remorse.
She is at death's door, and only now do you show some heart. It's my sister's misfortune to have crossed paths with a heartless man like you. You never even treated her like a human being.
On his way home to scrape together the money, Mo Sheng sat alone on the boat, lost in thought, recalling everything Tao Chun had done for the family. Over the years, he was consumed with guilt. But what good is regret now? Why do people only realize what they had after they've lost it? Back home, Mu Sheng saw his daughter tending the stove just like her mother used to, all while coaxing her younger brother. Seeing him return, she brought him water to wash his feet just as her mother did. Overwhelmed with guilt at the sight of his sensible daughter, Mu Sheng pulled her into a tight embrace. In her mother's absence, the little girl had shouldered the entire household's burden, caring for her brother, cooking and feeding the livestock. When Xingji asked why she wasn't in school, the girl lowered her head and replied, "If I go to school, there'll be no one left to look after the house."
Pigs, that's all you think about. You're turning into a beast of burden yourself.
In those days, advanced cancer was a death sentence. With no money for treatment, Tao Chun was brought back home. Sitting on the bus, Tao Chun gazed at the city. Passing by the window, she couldn't help but sigh. "I suppose I'm one of the lucky ones after all."
Even though I'm so terribly ill, at least I've got to see the world. When else would I have the chance to see the county seat and even ride in a bus?
After a lifetime of hardship, it was only through illness that she finally rode a bus for the first time. When her son saw her return, he rushed into her arms and cried,
Mom, while you were gone, I kept having dreams.
What did you dream about, Grandma? Really?
I dreamed I fell into the sea, and you didn't come to save me. I turned into a bird and flew everywhere, crying, looking for you.
Mom will never leave her little one again.
Seeing this, Xingji's eyes welled up with tears. She knew deep down that her sister would soon be leaving them. Her daughter came home from school and showed her a test with a perfect score. Asking for a parent's signature this time, Mu Sheng told Tao Chun to sign it.
No. Mother-in-law, child, will you be the one to sign from now on?
Me sign? How could I possibly sign it?
It's the same whether you sign it or I do.
At the insistence of her husband and daughter, Tao Chun signed the test paper for the first time. Gazing at his frail wife, Mu Sheng made up his mind to make up for all his past neglect during her final days. He rushed to the town's general store early in the morning, wanting to buy the dress Tao Chun liked, but the last one had already been sold. Disappointed, he went to the butcher's and bought pig stomach, his wife's favorite. Upon returning home, he saw Tao Chun trying on that very dress. It turned out Xingji had bought it for her sister.
Xingji, it's rare of you to think of buying this dress for your sister.
If I don't buy it, who will? My sister has had no one to care for her since the day she was born.
Father of my child, do you think I look all right in this?
You look fine in it. You should have worn it long ago. Let me pay you back.
Keep your money to buy Renden.
Silenced by Xingji's blunt words, he could only leave in shame. The next day, Tao Chun brought lunch to Mu Sheng as usual, but Mu Sheng stopped her, telling her not to come anymore and to just send it with others. If only he had been this way from the start. Had he cared for his wife's illness sooner, it wouldn't have come to this. That evening, Tao Chun tried to bring him foot-washing water again, but Mu Sheng snatched it away. He told his wife to rest early, and that he would do it himself. Late at night, Tao Chun was awakened by the sound of the millstone. Her husband's unusual behavior lately made her realize something was wrong. She grabbed Mu Sheng and asked what was really wrong with her.
Listen to me, I mean the truth. Is it my illness?
Your illness has been cured. The doctor said so. You're fully recovered.
Mu Sheng's evasive eyes made her realize instantly that her husband was hiding the truth. She went to ask Yingzhe, but Xingji also couldn't bear to tell her the truth. She lied that Tao Chun was cured and would be fine as long as it didn't recur.
Even if it recurs, it's no big deal. It's just a women's ailment. Great uncle said, I have a good man to look after me, and I have both a son and a daughter. I am content with my life.
One day, when Mu Sheng came home, he found his daughter crying under a tree. He went to ask and found that someone had told her that her mother only had 6 months to live. Mu Sheng didn't answer directly, but heartbrokenly wiped away his daughter's tears, repeatedly telling her not to cry in front of her mother. You're a big girl now, take care of your brother, and don't upset your mother. Meanwhile, Tao Chun was still holding her son while cooking. The boy suddenly asked about her illness.
Mom, does your stomach still hurt?
No, It doesn't hurt anymore.
Then you won't leave again, right?
Mama might be going on a long journey soon.
To where?
To Grandma's house.
Didn't you say Grandma had passed away?
If Mama goes on a long journey, you will miss me.
I'll miss you. And if you will, you come back.
In a few days, I'll go take a photo. If you miss me, just look at Mama's photo.
Tao Kun knew in her heart that her time was running out, so she began sewing clothes for her children throughout the night, wishing she could finish every outfit they would need from childhood to adulthood. Her daughter, in the next room, overhearing her parents' conversation, lay on the bed and wept in secret. Knowing her mother would soon be gone, she walked into the room and whispered,
Mom, teach me how to do this work. I'm already 9 years old.
Seeing her daughter's maturity, Tao Kun could no longer hold back. She held her daughter tight, sobbing, as she gave her one instruction after another. Listen to your father and study hard. Only by getting an education can you leave these mountains and see the world. Watching his wife's life slip away, Mu Sheng lay awake all night. He asked Tao Kun if she had any unfulfilled wishes. Tao Kun shook her head. She had only one small desire, to see the train in town and take a photo as a memento for the children. Early the next morning, Mu Sheng pushed Tao Kun in a one-wheeled barrow along the country path, heading toward the town to fulfill this long overdue atonement. The story concludes amidst the rumbling whistle of the train, leaving behind nothing but endless sighs and profound reflection. Through the tragedy of Tao Kun, this film pierces through the spiritual shackles of traditional patriarchal ethics on women. The repetition of I'll do as you say and the 4 scenes of bringing foot washing water not only depict Tao Kun's submissiveness and endurance, but also expose how feudal patriarchy suppresses individual will. Mu Sheng's transition from indifference to remorse also symbolizes the awakening of humanity and conscience in traditional men amidst changing times.